So, how do you say your name, by
Call me PK. PK is easy. Pankaj. Pankaj.
Pankaj?
Pankaj. Yeah.
People always wonder how I say my name. My name
Yeah.
is Yolita.
What is that?
It's Yolita?
Yo, not J.
No, J.
Yolita. Oh, it's
Yes,
Y. Oh.
yes. Yeah,
That's what I was thinking. It's a very common name in Asian country, which is with J.
yeah,
Jolita.
yeah. It's Lithuanian, so it's a little different.
It's Y. Okay. Awesome.
Well, thank you for coming on the podcast. So actually, me and my husband, we did quite a few episodes about wealth and wellness podcast. And this actually kind of matches because what you have is a healthy food, quick but healthy food restaurant brand.
Yeah.
And I have massage and skincare wellness brand as well. And we
Mhm.
also both believe in wealth building. And
Yeah.
we're both immigrants. So we are going to share today our stories, how we got here, and how we can also now help other people to live their dream.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for inviting me on your podcast. It's my pleasure to be on your podcast. And 100% I agree with you. While we were, flying from Miami to EWR, we were discussing that 100% that's okay, both related to your health. And we would like people to take care of their own health and a smaller pieces as they are growing older. Avoid medical bills, and you
Yes.
better take care of your health because that's very expensive to go through. And as you said, we are both immigrants and we have worked hard. We have made a path which a lot of people can follow, and we are ready to help. We are ready to help, either help them through the immigration, which is E2 visas or EV5 investor visas, or even we are, as a company, we are ready to go two steps further, where we are identifying someone, immigrant, who is working hard in a restaurant, hospitality, or health wellness industry. And if they like to change their career and become one of us, we are happy to help. Even we can help through the financing, lending, maybe installment programs, whatever. So it's a time for people to come forward and reach out to us, and we can figure out how we can help. We can work together.
Yes. And what really made me relate to you, because you are a franchisor and I am an emerging franchisor. And what we both believe is that we can help people that are not yet very seasoned investors, that maybe they want to transition from working for somebody else, but maybe they have some savings that they can put down, because we came from those roots. So we came from nothing ourselves, and
Yeah.
we've built a life that we have now.
Hmm.
So I was able to do it from solo therapist to multiple location spa. So I can help other people to do it too. You don't have to have multi-million-dollar net worth to
100%.
do it. We can show you the system, the processes, how you can grow from one unit and then build from there.
Absolutely. I mean, who has $1 million? They don't need help for sure.
Yeah.
People like us, or who is growing and who is looking into building their own career or future, or better retirement plan, those kind of people, we are willing to go extra mile to help. And that's work together, like we have gone through that process. So
Yeah.
even it doesn't work out, even they're not taking our brand, your brand or my brand as a franchisee, but it's still we can give them input. If they can reach out to you, I don't think you will ever say, oh no, you have to take mine. I'm happy to help you to become better. That's the whole idea, that's the whole goal.
Yes, we will match them. And you also are part of IFPG consultants, so you can match them with wide variety of opportunities.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's the whole idea. We are here to help. That's the we that's the basic fundamental goal for us,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, and that's why we do what we do. I
Mm,
think that's what I got into franchising, and I think that's why you got into it.
yeah.
Because we love sharing what we've learned, because that is a long journey to do all the things like you've done. I already know your story a little bit, but let's tell our viewers. Tell me, how did you got into being a restaurant owner,
Hmm.
led you to where you are today? How did you end up in United States? I know you lived in other countries as well.
Yeah, definitely. Let me briefly tell your viewers that, I did my hotel management from India, and I was looking for a job, had a job interview, and I went to a job interview and I saw a huge crowd. As any newcomer or somebody who is starting to start a career, they get scared of seeing people who is a well-to-do or well experienced. So I took a U-turn and I was going back. Moment I reached elevator and I'm waiting for elevator, I saw a lady. She just came out and then she was carrying multiple stuff. So I offered her help. Said, okay, hey, can I help you out? And she was very happy to ask me for a help. And I took it to her room. She opened a wallet, trying to give me a tip. And I was like, no, 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 I don't need it. She says, what? You don't work here? I said, no. I came up for a job interview, but I don't think I'm gonna qualify or I'm gonna get through. So I'm going back. She was like, "Oh, you can't run away. You have to go." So she forced me to go. I went, waited till 5 in the evening, walked into the interview room. The moment I opened the door, she was there, and I was like, "God, wow!" So I believe in karma, 100%. So I would like people to do good things. The good thing when I come back, and that's how I got my first job in Singapore, and I was
Amazing
working.
story.
Yeah. I was working in Guroi as in a Pizza Hut, and then one day I found a wallet full of money. It was 110,000 Singaporean dollars, and I called the gentleman. The person came and picked up the wallet, and he was shocked to see the crew member who is earning $400 a month is giving back 110,000. He couldn't believe, and that's what we want people to understand: our core value, or hard work, honesty, never gonna go anywhere. And then this gentleman has wrote a letter to Pizza Hut International to award me, and that's how I got awarded for honesty, and it came into the newspaper. And overnight, I became, a star. People start coming, meeting me, taking a picture. They used to introduce their kids to me that, okay, he's the guy. And then I got a call one day from Princess of Brunei for a job, and I couldn't say no, and I jumped, and I worked with her for 3.5 years. But my goal was traveling around the world, so I went to Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Hong Kong, Australia, went to Middle East, then went to India for a short period of time, but it was good learning process. And then I went to UK for Burger King. I used to work for airport in United States and European countries. And then I had an opportunity to come to America. And when I came to America, I realized that, okay, this is a country where you have to work hard and hustle. You have to build your space. There's no guarantee anytime you're going to get fired. When I saw all that is happening and COVID hit, the moment COVID came, me and my wife, we were sitting and thinking, I don't know when I'm going to lose the job. That was a thought process. And do we have a plan B? We had no plan B. We never thought about it till that time. And then I started from a cloud kitchen, my own restaurant.
Yeah, so that is just proof how karma rewards people with integrity. And that's who we want to work with. And that's what I always look for first not really the degrees, not really
No.
even experience. It is the person.
Yeah.
The skills can be learned, and you can teach people how to do this and cook, or
Yeah.
go to art school, things like that. But the personality, the integrity cannot, it's something in a person that is invaluable.
It's inbuilt. It's inbuilt, right? You cannot tell somebody how to smile. You cannot tell somebody to be hardworking. Get up 6 o'clock in the morning from the
Yeah.
bed is not easy, right? So absolutely, I 100% agree with you.
People have to have that drive. Like if you are gonna come to US and you want to be a business owner, entrepreneur, you will have to work.
Yes.
Yeah. That is an amazing story. And it just proves how anybody can accomplish great things, even if you were not born in this country or any country, if you just do things with integrity and you work hard. And also, I mean, it does have having good mentors and people around also is helpful.
This is how I would say that, the good attracts good. It's very easy, right?
Mhm.
So if you are being a good person and hardworking, you're always gonna find people who is there to help you and support you. Even when I started my cloud kitchen, I had a customer who constantly, regularly placing an order online because there's no restaurant, physical restaurant, right? It's virtual. And he loved our food, and we used to call for a feedback, and he loved our, he used to give me a feedback. And when I had a COVID for 2 weeks in between, everybody starts sending us a message and calling us, right? And most of the time what we do, if somebody walk into your place and see your spa is closed, what most of the people going to do, look for who is the nearest spa which is
Yeah.
open, book an appointment and go. They don't see what happened behind the door, somebody's family, somebody's, are they okay? These are the basic fundamental which we never taught. And I saw that gentleman reached out through the email, text message, and call as so many people. Then I realized, me, I was in tears that somebody is doing it, so
Mhm.
much of support. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not okay. Everything is fine. And then I went back, and the guy was like, look, your food, and you need a better place, not a virtual kitchen. You need a better place. And then
Mhm.
he helped me to connect a couple of builders where I went and opened my first location in Wilmington. And basically, I had no money, but the people helped me to start the business. And I was just paying 25% as a commission to installment. So there's somebody's there who can fund you. If you are a good person, hardworking, honest, is
Yeah.
always opportunities are there.
Absolutely. And my first franchisee, Christy, she's one of our former employees. And I saw, and she wanted to be our franchisee. The as soon as we announced that we are offering our systems, processes, and franchising for the spa, because she's been a therapist for 20 years. But I know that she was a little hesitant, and I know, like, I mean, as a massage therapist, usually people don't have very high net worth, and
That's right.
it can be scary. So, I was working with her and supporting her to open this location. So she put up the money to get the lease and to purchase equipment, but I discounted the franchise fee because I saw how, and she was able to be part of us as the first one. And I knew that she had very high integrity and she was willing to work hard. So when people see the dedication, even if somebody has, you know, maybe less funds, there will be people that will be willing to invest in you and help you, and because they see your character.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. It's a similar scenario for us as well. Like we had a store which is 2 hours away from my home. And I had a team who was working, and a lot of customer was asking, hey, is it franchise? Is franchise? So we start thinking about it, and we started working towards that. And then we opened a second location, which is in Houston, which is another 4 hours by flight. So we need to have a system and process in place to make sure it's consistent and getting the same flavor and taste. So we did a lot of work. And after 2 years of work, I see my team members and managers, they came to me and said, look, I want to take as a franchise. I know a lot of people are asking right now, but I want to take this franchise. That was the biggest validation because they are working in the store. They know numbers, they know the system, they know the process, they know everything. And they knew us and help and support what they can get. So we were very happy. And we have done the similar, like we gave them a discount to pay to us in a monthly
Yeah.
installment. And I gave them an option because I was worried that okay, it's a hard-earned money, and if you always in the business there isn't a risk of if doesn't work.
Yeah.
So we said, like, the moment you guys decide, oh no, it's not for me, don't worry, I'm gonna take over from
Mhm.
you. So they were like very happy. They paid off. They are doing good, and they are looking for second location now.
And that's the difference between some of the franchisors. I've actually, unfortunately, seen people do irresponsible franchising. And that's when franchising can get bad reputation because there is some franchisors out there that don't care about their franchisees as much as you do or I do.
Hmm.
Whether they succeed or fail, they don't care as much. They will have the franchisee invest $1 million, and I've seen people fail even with $1 million investments. 6 months later they close down, which is heartbreaking. It is their life savings a lot of the times. So I think you and I, we agree that we rather start more conservative, a little, we don't require such a high investment, but grow like organically, help people to really understand the business, be in the business at the beginning, and and later maybe they can like outsource and hire more people where they want to be more semi-absentee and not be at the at the business day to day. But I think what you're saying, start small, give them like maybe payment plan, and then once they're successful then they can open more
Yeah.
their
No,
spaces.
I mean 100%. As you said, if both of our business is skill is required, right? We cannot really consider that taking a skill out from our equation. But yes, cooking food and at least something to understand. It's all about the skill, and the food is in the heart of the business, right? It's not about investing $1 million and making like a palace and your food quality is an average, then it's not going to sustain and work. People can come to see, and mesmerize once, not every time.
Yeah.
We are in a business where you have a regular customers who is coming
Right.
for a massage. It's not one time, right?
Yeah.
So it's a recurring business. For us, is the same. People are like 3 to 5 times in a week. They are walking in and getting a food which is very reasonable priced and freshly prepared, healthy, good for you. That's the whole idea, right? So we don't need a huge investment. My
Yeah.
franchisee, some of the concept which I do, $50,000, and I know similar food people are opening, which is 500,000. I can open 10 locations; they can open one, right?
Yeah.
It's a huge difference. I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah, the same for us. There is legacy brands that want like $1 million net worth. They want at least 500,000 in build out. They go in to do like extensive construction. They go into white space. They want, everything to be like pretty expensive. Construction is expensive because they want it very specifically. But for us as we rather have second generation real estate. Maybe we just repaint, change the flooring, but we're not building from ground up like the walls
Yeah.
and everything. You know, if we can find a medical office that has already things in place, we just need small reception, we need treatment rooms and parking, and that's about it. Maybe a little kitchen area, you know, for the staff. But our investment is lower. It's really build out, it can be as low as 10, well, I mean, 20, 30, $50,000. And then, you know, there is marketing costs and you need for the real estate leasing, the monthly costs, the
Mhm.
ongoing costs. But as far as initial investment, you know, $150,000, 250, and you can really have a nice spa without having to spend half a million plus.
I mean, 100%. I've seen numbers, the investment, and I have seen people, they jump and invest. They don't understand that franchising is not about one-time investment.
Yes.
There's a 10 years of, partnership
Yeah.
between franchisor and franchisee. Franchisor, you and me are putting more stake, our brand name, our bread and butter, everything we are giving to somebody who can basically kill it, right? We are sharing it, and what we are taking 5%,
Mhm.
5%, six
Five or
percent,
six. Yeah.
yeah, 6-7% royalty, which is not a huge. Just imagine that you open a business and you
Yeah.
hire a marketing manager, you hire an accountant, you hire an HR, you hire an operation manager, you hire a training manager. You need all of these help. As a
Yes.
franchisor, we are giving you for that price. Which
Yes.
business where you can go and say, look, I'm opening a business and I need a full team. Can I give you 5% of my sales?
Right.
No, you're gonna
Yeah.
come on you.
Yeah.
You cannot cover a one salary for that money. So
Yeah.
people has to
Because
be more wise and understand and think that franchising in a different way, that for us, we have done 4 years of hard work, no salary taken, so much of research and development, so much change, and more things are happening day to day, so much of marketing and going out and doing so much work for that franchisee to be successful. When somebody will walk in and say, hey, I can start this spa, what is it, right? But they don't realize and understand is not just what you're looking at. You need so much. Otherwise, being a franchisee is always great because you get a peer support. Other franchisee, you can pick up a phone and call and said, hey, it's not working for me, this is not happening, what you doing extra. When all of that kind of learning, you pick up a phone and you can call, hey, Yotika, what is happening, I'm struggling, this is happened, somebody asked me that question, what should I answer? If you are one person running your one spa, who you gonna call? Nobody
yes.
gonna answer, pick up your call and answer for free. You need to hire somebody to help you, either
Mhm.
consultant. That consultant cost gonna be more than a franchisor cost. Here
Yes.
you getting everything together, who gonna be for 10 years, extended family. You're working together, right? So people has to understand that side of, not just royalty and franchise fee, which is nothing. I cannot build a palace for that money.
Yeah. Well, you know, you get a lot of services in return. Royalty, to me, I actually don't like that word royalty because to me, it's really, it's a service that you're paying
That's right.
for your website, you know,
Yeah.
because most franchisors give you website, like we give microsite as well that are location specific to each
Hmm.
station. Um, Newsletters, blogging, marketing, social media templates,
Hmm.
videos, you know, people like you said to call at any times when there's an issue. Google ads, Facebook ad support. We have our own marketing contractor that it's already vetted, it's already knows what to do. Like if you just started a business, you try to find and hire all these separate contractors, it's gonna cost you more than just paying, because we get economy of scale, because when we have more locations, we have one contractor for multiple location. Now, if they have one location, they need one contractor for that one location.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
And then as well, some of the franchises, you get economy of scale for products, for
Yeah.
supply
Mm.
chain. So it's really savings plus all the time. Like I remember we were talking on a plane, you mentioned how it took you 1 year to perfect to change
Yep.
just one recipe. So that's already so much time saved for the person who can just take that recipe and present it to the customer.
Mm. No, 100%. Like for us, Indian food is not something so straightforward and simple. It's a layered cooking. It takes time. And how do we make it for somebody who doesn't know how to cook it as we our expectation? So it's not a simple job. People has to understand. When they see a final product, then they realize, oh, it's so simple. It's not simple. It's just gone through the entire process.
Yeah. And it took us years, it took me years to develop systems processes with my staff in the spa, how to
Yeah.
generate the 5-star reputation over thousands and thousands treatments performed, which services are best to offer and what pricing, the memberships, the packages, options, best hiring practices. I mean, I've learned from mistakes. Uh,
Yeah.
I've didn't know everything when I started, and looking back, if I bought into franchise, I would probably already be much further today than what if I started from scratch. But
Yeah.
back then, I didn't kind of knew that that was an option for me. I didn't even think of it. I just kind of started as a solo practitioner, and then I got into just grew, and now I am a franchisor. But you know it would have saved me like a years. It would have saved me
No,
years.
100%. 100%. 3 to 4 years minimum, I see that you could have saved. But that for in your scenario or my scenario, we never had that fund.
Right.
That was
Yeah.
because being an immigrant, you don't have that, money sitting which I can invest. So
Yeah.
either, for us, like I had a skill and
Yes.
nobody was ready to give me the franchise the way you are ready or I'm ready to help people.
Yeah.
Nobody. You fill out the application form and they will look at you or your net worth out. Nobody's
Yes.
talking to you,
Right.
right?
Yes.
It's a similar concept. I know that what you doing it, I have seen FDD and looking at 1.5 million. I mean, when you gonna have that? For me,
Yeah.
I wanted to become a restaurant owner at the very early stage. When I completed my hotel management, I went to McDonald's for a franchising. And I could not really understand in that time that to flip a burger and put the burger patty in a bun, you asking me millions? I
Yeah.
could not. So that dream was almost is there, but I was like, I can open my own restaurant.
Yeah.
Never gonna have that much of saving.
Yeah, it's prohibitive. Well, and people that work in the spa industry, like sometimes they wish that they could own their own spa, but then they think, well, but I don't have the money and I don't
Yeah.
have. But actually, I have the program where you can have one treatment room or two treatment room pop-up where they start very small, only 50,000 investment initial, and they could maybe get from family some crowdfunding or try to save up, and also maybe take the rest as a loan from SBA or credit card, or different things that can be put together. But we can make it happen even well now, because with other brands you couldn't make that happen, but like
No.
with your brand and my brand, even people that are on a lower net worth, we can make it happen for them.
That's right.
They
Yeah.
have, I mean, they still need to have some money, right?
Some,
At
yeah,
least
yeah.
like 20-30% of the total, but it's much more reasonable amount.
Yeah, yeah, no, 100%. And I would like people to go and do some, find out from other brand to understand what we are saying,
Yeah.
right? We are real. We are gonna help you along with our growth, right? We will listen. And when they're gonna call any of those kind of brand, then they will able to understand,
Mhm.
well, they are not, right?
And they get to work with the founder. I mean,
That's
the
right.
benefit for us, our brands right now is that we are there personally to coach and support them. So let's say if you get to 100, 200 locations, you will not be able to personally
To do
support.
that, yeah.
You'll have
I
to,
I wish that's a good problem to have.
yes, and you will have an area manager that will be supporting.
Absolutely.
So with emerging brands, it's more flexible to get in because we are more flexible, we're more willing to work because as the brand grows, they become more rigid and they become less caring too. Because for
That's
them,
a yeah.
kind of like
That's the
more,
nature, right? That's the nature. It happens in that scenario. Hopefully, we're not gonna be one of them,
yeah,
but you know, uh,
maintain the culture where we
that's
and
right.
brands that still do care a lot, even the big ones. I know there's some brands that are big that they
They do.
still
Yeah,
have zero closures. There are brands that have, no, none of their franchisees go bankrupt, no matter how big they get, because they really take an approach where they're very careful with how they onboard people, how they support them. And I mean, hopefully that's our goal is to
yeah, no, that's our goal. That's how we learn, right? It's a
yeah,
learning process. You come across sometimes somebody comes with a lot of money, then you think that okay, great, it's gonna be easy to open. It's not about opening a store, it's about sustaining in the market and thriving. That is the day-to-day operations and day-to-day business model where we want franchisee to get involved, right? And if somebody walks in and said, hey, I want a passive income, semi-passive or passive, yeah, there is an opportunity for both. But if they are coming on board and say, okay, minimum of 3 locations, yes, then you can able to hire a GM, right, who will run business for you. You might able to make less profit margin at the bottom line because you're paying more as a salary. But if you're owner operator, you make more bottom line because you're saving the salary, right? And it for us, I'm open. We can, if somebody is there, somebody is listening and like to have 2,000 square feet divided half for healthy food and half your wellness spa, we can
yeah,
do that. We're gonna figure out how, and we are willing to do it.
yeah. Yeah, and for me also, I mean, if they are going to be able to be the main hiring manager and they don't need to they can just have maybe like a lead therapist, and we have virtual receptionists that answer all the customer calls. They don't really need to be there in person every day, but they need to step in when it's necessary. They need to be able to answer their phone anytime any emergencies happen. um, and I mean, I do very little services myself. I started as somebody that did the services. And of course, if I did the services, or if there would be an owner that wants to perform services like facials or massage, I mean, their profit margin is gonna be higher. But if they don't
Mm,
want to do that, like I'm focusing on franchising now, so I don't do, you know, very little of those that I do. So but to me, it's a business that runs on its own now, and but it took like 5 years to get there, to
yeah,
truly like semi-absentee. But at the beginning, you have to be like every day and dedicated 100% to it.
yeah. No, it has to be 100% dedication. There's no if and but for that.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they can decide, if they want to continue cooking, being owner operator, if they want to do services, like if let's say they have license for massage or skincare, they could remain doing that, or they could step out of doing those and maybe become more just maybe multiple units. Maybe now
Yeah,
they multiple restaurants and be like just overseeing like an area developer,
that's right. Yeah.
don't have to, cook every day or do services as they scale. But at the
Mhm.
beginning, they want to have higher profit margin. They can be cooking or they can be doing the services. It's gonna push them through the first and second year because they're having less expense. They can reinvest that money into like more marketing. Maybe they can do more ads, and they're gonna be able to easily pay their rent, maybe at the beginning, if until like they get traction with more repeat customers, and it's very helpful to have that.
No, 100%. It's not about just the investment. I have seen so many people who, get all the money and invest and build. Now they don't have enough to sustain in the market. They
Mhm.
don't do marketing. They have not enough staffing, and start buying better, not the good quality product substitutes, and that's where they start failing. You
Yeah.
go to a lot of restaurant, a lot of spa. The first you're gonna get great quality product they're using in first month, and then slowly, gradually they go down, and that's where when you go after 3 months, I was like, what happened, right? And you realize that okay, either they are not doing well, or either they are cutting the cost, or they don't have money to sustain, because they need to have your operating cost for 6 months to a year when the business will start seeing money. It's not from the day one you start making profit.
Yes. Yeah, it takes time.
Yeah,
And I mean, the higher investment, the higher build out you have, the longer it will take.
yeah.
And frankly, you can only charge so much for one meal, or one cup coffee or one massage. So it doesn't matter. You spent 2 millions or 1 million or two or 100,000 in build out. I mean, your ticket item is gonna still be around the same. I mean, it's gonna
Same.
be, $20 or $100.
Yeah, 100%. Like, when we see all the research paperwork and for the brands and their average ticket, we are better on a national level. Their average ticket is much lower. So they
Mhm.
have basically a bigger number and a scale for them
Yes.
to sustain. I can 100% get that. But you're right. It doesn't matter. You don't have to go crazy and investing and building and putting a portrait or painting, which is $20,000 worth of painting on your reception, which is not required. Better you invest money for your business, your marketing, your better quality people and
Labor.
product,
Yeah.
so that will, the retain employees and retain your customers in a better
Our
way.
yeah, our most expensive really items is labor, quality labor, because we have
Yes.
therapists, so we prefer to pay them higher commission than the competitors because we
Yeah.
want 5-star experience. And we have a system built in a way where we bypass in-person receptionists, so we have remote receptionists, and then that cuts some costs because in-person receptionists, cost more than remote. So we're able rather train our therapists to check in, check out customers, and that way we're able to pay them more and
Yeah.
they're happier and we get better customer satisfaction. And the other item is marketing. We spend more on marketing than our competitors, but that way we're able to build business faster. And, okay, we're spending less on build out, but we're spending more on labor and marketing. And that, if they don't know you, they're not gonna come to see you. They're not gonna come to eat your food. So making awareness, making people know about our locations is the key, in my opinion, more than
No,
it.
100%. Location as well as a lot more referrals. So your customer who came to your spa are gonna refer to somebody else, and that's how this business works. So it's
Yeah.
important. It's a good quality therapist who knows the job, and who is, supporting your business. They are the one who is ambassador of your marketing and your brand, because they are the one who is meeting directly with the customer. The
Yeah.
similar for us, is the reception, or somebody's taking an order, somebody's preparing the food. They are the one. Customer is not seeing me, right? They don't know who am I most of the time, but they are meeting those people. So has to be a good quality people. For me, it's 4P. It's very important. That's the fundamental of our business, where we have people, so the people behind the counter, people front of the counter. Then we have a product, because without the product, you don't have a business. And
Yeah.
then maintain the good quality product, you need to have a good process. If you need to work on the process to make sure that your product quality sustain and right stay as you want. And if all these three is good, then your profit gonna follow
Yeah.
through, right?
Yes. And I was looking at your book. I was reading,
Mhm.
almost finished. I had a little bit time last night, and I love what you just, I saw that was in your book also, those three P's, it has to be first. I
Yes.
I have the same idea. Like if our staff is good and customer is happy, profit comes after. We need to not be so focused about the numbers profit. We need to be focused about quality
Mhm.
first and foremost, and that five-star experience from the moment the customer walks in the door by the time that they leave.
Absolutely, 100%. That is the key for the business.
Yes, because when I've seen even good brands, they were successful, and then sometimes, let's say, they get sold to like a private equity company, and then they try to squeeze out every additional penny because they need to repay their investors, right? And usually that cycle is pretty short, how fast
Yeah.
they get that return. So then they will they will degrade certain ingredients, they will replace them to be cheaper, or they will fire some of the positions maybe that they think it's not necessary, or they will, shorten like the time of the service. But yes, on paper, it looks good. On paper, yeah, we're saving this much dollar per item or per service. But then they don't see that long term the customer quality experience actually downgrades. They start to refer less new customers. Then maybe another new, better competitor comes along and customers start going there. So yes, they have like short term, you will have that improvement. But then if you only focus on that, those final, like the number, but not the quality, and then you lose. And there's many companies that got bankrupt like that.
That's what happened, because they are not the founders, right? They are not looking at, their heart is not in the right place,
Right.
and they are just a business people looking at the bottom line, and increase the price or buy a cheaper product. And this is what their goals are, this is what their expertise are. Sit down on the Excel sheet and work. For us, that is a secondary. Number one, that okay, hey, look, let's look into the product, look into the people. That right? These are the
And
two. These
employee
are the business.
satisfaction,
Yeah,
like workplace culture, because then if you have bad workplace culture, then you cannot attract new talent, anybody work.
100%. Yeah, you can see, because of the one employee, two more employees walked away. Or good people, they don't like to stay in an environment where it's toxic,
Yeah,
so they generally walk away. I have walked away from some of the places, when I was working as a crew member. It's so much toxic, screaming, shouting,
mhm.
going on in the office, and you're like, God, you need a peace
Yeah,
of mind.
that's like the worst.
Worse, yeah.
Yeah, that way we always strive for customer and employee first satisfaction, uh,
Yeah.
because as we maintain our 5-star customer experience, we need to maintain 5-star employee experience too. Because
Yeah.
if somebody leaves our company, but then the community is can be pretty small sometimes, and then they'll ask their friend who's also maybe a massage therapist, say, "Well, you used to work there. How is it working there? Because I want to apply." And then they'll say, "Oh yeah, I liked it. It's good." So then the person is applied. But if they had bad experience, then they will not apply. And the same with
Oh,
offering competitive, commission too for us.
100%. When I was as a crew member or when I was as a manager working, I always reach out to their employees to understand what is the work culture, and then I used to go for an interview. Otherwise, I will reach out on LinkedIn. I'll go find the company. Hey, you working? How is it? How's the company? What is happening? And they will tell you. They are the employees.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if I always believe to getting a good quality cup of coffee, you need to have good quality beans, good skill, and then you're gonna get the coffee. If you focus on good coffee and you don't focus on people and product, it's not gonna come out. It's just very simple. Put a good apple, the good apple juice will come out. If you're putting a rotten apple and you want a good quality juice, it's not gonna come out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a very basic fundamental.
Hmm. So what would people need to do if they, let's say, wanted to come to US? I mean, one of my suggestion is also not just look financials, but um, make sure they're gonna like the culture in US and learn English language, because if you can't speak English good, it's gonna be more difficult to run the business here. Because when I immigrated, I chose English to be my major when I was in high school, because I knew my mom wanted me to move to US to study. So I knew I needed to do that. So maybe do you have any other tips for people that want to open business in US?
100%. They need to understand the basic business fundamental. So if they are in their country, if they want to open spa, they should go and work somewhere to learn basic, understand the business model, start connecting with you, get your FDD, understand each and every point, have more discussion, because it's time taking process, right? For you and for me, we are gonna help them through E2 visas, but that process is gonna take 6 months, 3 months to 6 months, or maybe longer. It depends upon the country to country, right? We can help them through the lawyer, through the CPA, opening a business, opening accounts, all of that in US. But when they come over here, they need to be prepared and be ready. So if they know the basics, they understand the basic English language and understand the basic business acumen, then that's become much easier. And if they talk to us in very early stage and open it up and tell us, so we understand that where they can fit in, right? What kind of location? So if somebody walks in and it's like, okay, I give them a standalone location where they have to do a lot of marketing, a lot of there's no foot traffic, so then it's become difficult for them because they don't know the dynamic. But if we do understand, okay, perfect, I can place them inside a mall or food hall or railway station, those kind of where you already have a traffic. So when you do not have to work so hard for the first year, but you're learning and growing along with that. Or if you are well educated and you well to do, understand the business, then yes, of course, give you a location which you can run. So we are here to help. And in a year or two, you can open a second location, third location. And when you open a multiple location, you grow. There is an opportunity for you to, go as a investor green card program.
Mhm. Yeah, and while like prior experience is not required, like you're not required to be running restaurant previously or
Yeah.
running a taught previously, but it is helpful if you worked in that industry, like if they ever worked in the restaurant, of if they maybe went to massage or aesthetics or some sort of wellness school, if they're passionate about wellness or healthy food and being a business owner. That's what we are looking for. Somebody also who is able to take calculated risk, because
That's right.
and then they also not just only, be good at, let's say a certain thing they do, cooking or massage, but they also have to have that entrepreneurial passion. But with our help, it is reduced risk because, like you said, we would help them to find the best location, and all the systems, processes, marketing support. So there's guardrails, but they still need to know that they will need to, put some money on the line and invest the time and wait for profit. Like, they will have to wait a little bit for return on that investment.
Yeah, 100%. For in your case, that skill is it's a therapist. Being a therapist or being in our case the business, the food or therapy skill is the heart of your body. But the rest, you're so much more. But if tiny heart is doesn't function, then your rest is also not going to function. So you
Yeah.
need to understand that you cannot be handicapped. So it's better be a full body where you have everything else you're using, from local authorities, licenses, those kind of stuff, marketing, accounting, taxing, everything has to be clean. So to make sure that you understand and learn, how to manage the team. That's going to be another biggest challenge for people who is coming from different country and working in this country here in US. If you do not understand how to manage the team, then it's going to be a difficult for them to work or run the business.
Yes. Yeah. So, being a leader, not being afraid to be leader.
Yeah,
Um, I feel like that's one of the things when I started my business, I did not realize. I learned that as I grew my business, that wow, well, these people look up to me. They look to me to tell them like what to do, and I
mm,
need to lead them now. So, you have to be comfortable as a business owner. It's learnable, everything is
yeah.
learned. You can learn, but you still have to be like a people's person a little bit. Nobody likes like a boss that's, very like rigid and not a people's person.
100%. You cannot be knowing everything, but if you are approachable and you are a good person, you learning. When I personally, when I start making, the video and podcast, I was bad, right? It was really, really bad. So I went to my 10 years son. I said, look, how do you guys do that?
Yeah.
Right? Teach me. And that's the approach where he came and it was like, okay, put the camera here, put this, you do this and talk, and that's how he did it, slowly, gradually. And so if you should be open to reach to anybody, people are there to help. I mean, if I need a help, I'm gonna reach out to anyone. I give them a call, send them an email. Maximum what's gonna happen, they're gonna say no reply or they say no, right? But reaching out and learning and growing, there are so many platforms, so many tools for us to learn skills.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, everything is learnable, and finding the right company you want to learn from or do business with, I mean, going on your own is okay for some people, but it can save time really going through a mentor's franchise. And I still invest in my own mentorship a lot and different trainings because we should never stop learning.
Never stop learning. That's one. And as you said, going your own, only 20% people are successful.
Mhm.
80% is failing. In
Yeah.
franchising, 90% people are successful, 10% fail.
Mhm. That's
So,
right.
the numbers are there. And
Yeah.
you and us, of course, we just came back from retreat. We are learning, meeting people. That's a whole culture and idea. You have to constantly feeding information in your brain. So you will able to, otherwise you will be out of the market, right?
Yes. You have to adapt, and that's the other thing with business ownership, that economy always is shifting, culture is shifting, customer behavior is shifting, and like surrounding yourself with the right mentors or franchisor that will help you survive through those maybe hard times and adapt as a brand, because as we've seen, people, there's different pandemics that can happen, there's different things that can happen, and when you are not alone, it's easier to weather those storms.
100%. I do, I do invite a lot of mentors for our monthly, the franchisee calls, where people are from different background, from accounting, from insurance, from networking, from, train the trainer and all of that kind of stuff. I love to have you as well. One of those months, it will be great. So it's important. It's very, very important for them to. I know they are busy working with the business, but I figured out how to or put some informations. It's something little different than what they are doing.
Yeah, that is the benefit of being part of the group of people that have common goal for that brand to succeed, and you have ongoing learning opportunities like this.
Mm.
Then adapting with technology. So we as a franchise, we constantly are maintaining the best practices with our website, our cyber security, client data. And sometimes, I've seen mom and pops like little spas, they kind of they let it fall, like their website may be like 10 years old, or it doesn't resonate with the public anymore, and then they have trouble attracting new customers. And the other benefit that when you have more like a community, bigger, more locations, you're gonna have better technical
Yeah.
contract people, everything available to you, and decide what's best for that that time to stay updated and competitive, hopefully.
No, 100%. 100%.
So you have Instagram and you have website
Yeah.
that I'll put in description below, and people can follow you and reach out to you if they have any questions, if they're interested in the Dimas Bol Masala franchise. Uh,
Yeah.
as well, people, you know how to reach me. You can find Brilliant Massage and Skin. Don't hesitate to ask questions. We're happy to answer. There's no silly or stupid question
No,
ever.
no, no. All questions are brilliant questions, and that's why it's there. So they should, without fail, just drop in a text or message or email. We are happy to answer and help. Absolutely, and definitely as we do more podcasts, we will talking more detail about how we can help them to do maybe E2 or build out the stores, or how we can do in $50,000, those
Yes.
kind of
How to
details.
select the best regions,
Yep,
locations.
locations, or the how what is the best area or location to target for our brand. Well,
Yes.
absolutely, we will do definitely.
Graphics are important, traffic numbers.
Yeah. There's a lot in the business. Sometimes you see is 1,000 square feet a location is not thousand. Is like thousand other things that are happening. You are
Exactly.
not ready for supposed to be your the drainage, plumbing is blocked. Now the water is all over in your spa or restaurant. The water log is coming back. What do you want to do in that situation? You're not ready. I have seen so many people. It could be a minor problem. Minor problem that you open a restaurant, you open a spa, and you don't have enough power. Now you're looking at, oh, I supposed to have so many amps. I have only this much amps. What are you gonna do now? So
Yes.
these are the lot of problem which the AC is not working because your electricity capacity is not there. So that's where the franchisor help them
Yes.
from step by step to understand, so they do not have any of these kind of problems, and they sustain and open and focus on a customer, focus on business, focus on the employees and the profit.
Yes. Yeah. There's a lot of nuances that
Yeah.
not foresee ahead of time if you never done it before. So thank you so much for this podcast with me, and we will stay tuned for more. We will be coming back with the next episode. So
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, everybody. And thank you very much for organizing this podcast. We always keep thinking, but yeah, you were on the dot straight away within a week. Let's do it. That's awesome. That's great. So, I mean, definitely we will be talking more, and we definitely like to help people as much as we can to help succeed.
yes, that's our goal.
Yeah,
And we're doing it, that's our first and foremost goal because right now, like as emerging franchisors, we're not really in it for the money. There's really we're just about helping people and building the brand and see where
yeah,
we can take that brand. That's the
absolutely.
passion. Oh, okay. So everybody has a brilliant day.
You too. Take care. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Bye bye.